Diana Wallace.
Laurie Mills.
Melissa Morrow.
Don Hudson.
Victoria Johnson.
Great. Let's start with, we usually do our meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the, or is that on there?
May
Yeah,
15th.
the minutes.
Motion to accept.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, passed. All right, our very first thing, we're going to have Ellie Meekin come talk to us about her Girl Scout project. And if you'll go to the podium right behind you. Give your full name and where you live.
Hi, I'm Ellie Meekin. I live at 310 Nixon Drive. I'm a Girl Scout in Troop 844, and I'm pursuing my Gold Award, which is the highest honor in Girl Scouting. I plan on building a garden in Rollingwood Park, and with partnership with the Rollingwood Education Garden. I will plant native plants that attract bugs that the bats eat, and putting up signage that have information about why the garden is important and how people can build a garden in their own backyard to help combat the problem of decreasing bat populations due to urbanization and habitat loss. And my Gold Award also plans on going to community events and explaining the issues about the issues that bats face and how they can help, and implementing a bat patch program in Girl Scouts that helps inspire younger generations to get involved in conservation efforts. And I'm here to formally ask to build a garden in Rollingwood Park. That's it.
And it will be inside of the existing community garden?
Yes.
So down in the lower part.
Yes.
Can I ask what the signage looks like?
It will be about like this big, and it will have like pictures of the bats that the bugs eat, or not the bats that the bugs that the bat eats, excuse me. And it will have information about why the garden is important and how people can help.
And how many signs do you think you'll have?
Probably like 2 or 3.
You have any other questions?
Let's see, so it'll be inside the fenced area.
Yes.
And I've been by that 100 times, but it's open on top, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. How big do you see the bat?
It will be like the size will be the exact size of the existing plots, so it'll just be
Okay.
the same.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
I did have a question too. I'm assuming you've looked at that plot.
Yes.
Are there plants there now that people are caring for?
Yes, but they have been like, they seem a little bit run down, and so I plan on just replanting and helping maintain that over time and having a long-term benefit.
How will it be maintained?
The Rollingwood Education Garden has agreed to maintain it long-term, and I've also had Girl Scouts agree to help maintain it over time.
Oh, great. Okay.
I know she's been working with Andrea Sparks.
Yes,
Is
I
that
have.
right? Who has sort of taken over the
The
community
community.
garden.
Great. Perfect. Okay. So you have some support.
Yes, I do.
So your garden will replace one of the vegetable garden patches.
It will be added on, but it will take like in the same manner.
Okay.
Cool. How many, do you have like a work day that you're organizing?
I don't have like a set date, but I do have ideas of like people that I will be working with and like how it will be managed.
How long do you think the project will take?
I plan on finishing it before I graduate, so I'd probably say spring of 2026.
Okay. So if you do have like a work day, just let us know. We can add it to, we have park work days sometimes, and we're happy to send it out if other people want to come help and be part of it. And I know we usually have a national night out I know, I think in your proposal, you talked about coming and being able to set up a table
Yes.
and instruct people, so I'd say July 4th. We usually have a big parade and a gathering. The National Night Out, which I don't know if they've set that for this next,
I believe it's on September 9th.
okay, September 9th. And then obviously Easter, we usually have a
Mhm.
big thing. So if you want more information, just contact us or the city, and we'll let you set up a table and educate people about the garden and how to become involved.
Perfect.
Any other questions? Great. So do we have a motion to approve this project?
I move to approve the project.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, or do we have any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, approved. Thanks, good
Thank
luck.
you so much.
All right, Western Hills, Frank, I see you online. Do you want to speak?
Yeah.
Steve?
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Not much to report. I was talking with the Little League guys this morning. Their teams are all finished also for the summer. So basically, no ongoing team activities or anything up in the fields for the next few months. Fall will probably start after Labor Day. I was talking to him that they're planning to do some infield dirt work on field 1. I was talking to him. We probably need it also on field 2. So just kind of giving you guys a heads up. We'll work with the city about kind of when that timing will happen. I don't think it'll take too long, but probably just get new dirt up there, level the fields, those types of things. And that's really all I have to report right now.
Great.
All right. All right. Well, I really think I'll quick say, does anybody have any questions about number 6, the Park Commission financials? All right. Well, then most of this meeting will give us an opportunity to talk about Friends of Rollingwood Park and any donation opportunities. I would really almost call this more of a idea session for us to talk about it. I know Dawn's worked really hard on a lot of it, and so we may not vote on anything necessarily today, but it's just more to get everybody engaged, get ideas, and talk about what we think next steps are.
Should I photocopy this and give I worked on this, I started it over the weekend, I finished it this morning. This is kind of the latest concept. Could I make copies of this and give everybody one?
Sure.
I'll try to dutifully collect thoughts on that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I went back through my folder on this and I had undated documents, and I didn't do good revision control on
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's pretty far along. Victoria forwarded me some images and ideas from Alex, and as I'm looking this over, I thought, I'm kind of okay at text and stuff, but this is going to be a piece of our website, and I was thinking maybe I should get others to volunteer and fire me from the committee.
Not fire, add.
Well, we can only meet 3 people
Oh,
at
I
a
gotcha.
time.
I gotcha.
So anyway, so I found this. I just snipped this logo, and it's a big live oak tree that I put up there. And these were some ideas that Alex put forth, and Victoria forwarded them to me. The text is, we've worked on it a lot. Every time we work on it, it changes. And to me, it's great. Anybody has any ideas about how it might be improved or edited or shortened or lengthened, I'm game. This was created to be a work in progress, and anyway, Michaela had the idea of, I think it was Michaela, might have been Diana, I don't remember, but anyway, originally I had this donation slip down at the bottom. Originally I made a sheet of 3 of those, and you could cut it into thirds. But this made more sense to just put it on the thing. Now, what this document will do is it'll be sent out with the water bill once a quarter. And but on the water bill each month, as I recall, we're going to have a note that says, the Rollingwood Park Commission formed the Friends of Rollingwood Park to raise funds to beautify and preserve this beloved gem. And then there's a link to a page on the Rollingwood website. I think there was some talk about maybe this message only goes out quarterly, but if it's small enough and doesn't gum up the water bill and all of that, I think it should be on there monthly.
Yeah.
My thoughts. Anyway, I think we got this down to exactly 200 characters. If this is over 200 characters, we need to shorten it, and we can, a lot of ways to shorten it. Anyway, this is where when we launch this will essentially launch our Friends of the Park fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the latest and greatest on this thing.
Great. So, I appreciate you saying, you may want some help in beautifying. I wanted to ask Michaela, in terms of the current Rollingwood website, do you have an artist or a graphic designer that y'all work with when you do new pages, or is it just, you just follow kind of what's already been done and make it stay the same?
The second
Okay.
would probably be the most accurate. Yeah, we have software. We don't work with someone separately to create web pages for us. It's just kind of like a template almost, and then we would just be able to fill in information depending on what we want on the website page.
Okay, cool. I think we talked about this previously. Is there an option to click a button and donate on the website? Is that something
Like
sorry.
a QR code.
Well, or even
No,
just the
on
fact
the
that,
website.
yeah,
So I nothing directly. There's always a way. We could always try to be creative about it. We could create a form and have something through there that could send city staff notification of someone wanting to or something like that. But something that goes directly, I don't think so. And so when you say that they can submit something and donate it, where are you wanting that destination to be? Are you wanting it, or how are you wanting that destination, I guess?
Wherever these other payments go.
It would go to Veronica.
Okay. I don't think we would be able to do that directly.
yeah. So, so I work for a nonprofit. I know that, and just to be clear, so in case someone is watching this and they don't have any idea of what we've been talking about for a while now, we basically, the Parks Commission created the Friends of Rollingwood Park. It's not a separate 501c3. It's part of the city. You can donate to Friends of Rollingwood Park, and it is tax deductible to the extent allowed by law. But that was a way for us to not have to go through the whole process of creating a nonprofit and have it be separate. But the funds that you give will be designated specifically to the park. They can't be used for plumbing or something else. And so, and here's where I was going with that. In my world, in the nonprofit world, what we find is you want the fewest number of clicks for people to donate.
For sure.
And
It
so,
needs to be as easy as possible.
Exactly.
Otherwise, people are like, never mind, or I'll do it later and never come back.
yeah. And so, again, not that necessarily this is something that happens this year, but I think our goal would be to have a web page that is connected with that at WEA, what we've done is we partnered with Better Unite, which is basically a fundraising tool, for lack of a better word about it. But basically, you go to the Better Unite site. They basically have some standard ways for you to donate, and so then you would fill in your information, including how you want to be recognized, and then you basically put your credit card number in there, and then what happens is Better Unite collects it, and then they basically send us the money minus 3% or whatever the fees are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something that other cities have done, or that's something that, you know, our accountants would be comfortable with. I mean, we would need to research this a little bit, but again, you know, I don't mind doing it through the water bill, but that feels a little clunky in terms of, you know, that's one way to do it, and maybe we do it that way, but if someday we could have it where you go to the website and you could donate. Alan, you look like you're excited to speak.
No, I think either or both of those is, like you say, standard accounting practice is something that we can easily handle on the city level.
Great,
Is it
awesome.
something we
Because I
need
think
to-
you'll get a lot more donations if it's a one-click stop.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Is it something we need to ask council if it would be okay for us to look into, or?
I don't believe so. I think it's worthwhile updating council. I mean, I was trying to familiarize myself with the Friends of Rollingwood Park in advance of this and kind of catch myself up. I know it's been a thing for several years. So I have asked the finance director, who's unfortunately out today, just to kind of catch me up on where that is, whether it's kind of a fund that's been kind of given up on, or if it still exists, if we need to kind of revive it in some manner. But I think that it's really easily achievable.
Okay.
And asking if that kind of thing, I think it might be something that might maybe find its way as just an informational item for council, where we on staff or perhaps the chairperson could come and present, this is what the park commission is doing. But my cursory reading of what the city's done before looks like this is in keeping with what we've done for many years.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how we raised funds for the field house.
okay.
Was
so
through
there
Friends
just-
of Rollingwood Park, and then it kind of went by the wayside once there wasn't a big capital campaign to raise funds for, and it kind of went to the wayside. But yes,
And
we
that's
have done
basically
this
what
in
I
the
found
past,
is, and I'm
yes.
not sure if we formally did away with it or if it just kind of just
No,
got
it
set to
just
the side to
kind
be
of
picked up
withered away.
today.
So is
Right.
that something that you could just click on and donate at that time?
Oh, probably not. This
Okay.
was probably early 2000s. When was that?
Yeah,
And
So the
Catherine
means
Horn
of-
was the one who spearheaded all of that.
Okay.
it was pre-internet giving.
One thing about how this is set up is that the things we want people to be able to click on easily would be the non-recurring, because I'm guessing most people who want to do this will set up a recurring, and once that's set up, they're done.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a line item on their water bill, and there'll be a total that has the water plus the park donation, and that's what they'll pay.
Yeah.
I must say, this form that I've made up could be a little more sophisticated. It would be nice if it would be set up where it would readily let somebody set up a recurring payment and a non-recurring payment. And I recall that Veronica had said you can't do a bank draft on a non-recurring. Well, this form doesn't say that. It's not quite done yet. So anyway, it's close. Anyway, I think that's the only change I know about.
So this is great, and I think we will, you know, pursue this, but alongside that, have an instantaneous way.
Yeah.
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 So that basically, you know,
And I
there's.
think most people are more familiar now with, you know, you go to Project ALS, for example, which I did yesterday, and you make a donation online, or Helping Hand Home,
Yeah.
or whatever. Everybody has that capability, and it just should be simple for us
Yeah.
to do, I would hope.
Yep, exactly.
Do we have or need to think about when we would want this to get up and
Launched.
running? Yeah, launched, that's the word I'm looking for.
Or what does it need to, how
I'd be-
close is it to launch worthy.
I'd be willing to wait a little bit if we could get the online donation figured out so we could do both things at once, the water bill and the online donation, rather than come back later and say, oh, by the way, now you can go to the website, you know? But it really is a timing thing for you, I guess.
I would think the same thing. So I think
Yeah.
when you launch something like this, for me, just as an individual, I think the initial excitement, and if I go on, I'd like to make a one-time thing, well, I can't find it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think somebody said it is, well, maybe I'll circle back to it, and we know sometimes you forget
Yeah.
to.
And I think we do know a lot of people don't get water bills in the mail.
Mhm.
Half and half. Half pay
Mhm.
automatically, half pay. So I think also for the biggest bang for your buck, it would be best if we had that way.
And we can explore on the staff level how best to make that happen.
Would we be able to do one of those alerts to people for the first time to say, you can go online and donate to Friends of the Park as of today or something? I know that's not an emergency, but
I would not recommend that approach, just because then people say, well, I'm just going to turn
but
it
I'm
off.
wondering how we would get the word out
So-
for
Yeah.
that online section.
Does the city have an Instagram page? You don't. Well, you need one. We're gonna have one for the Friends of the Park.
Great, are you the social media contact?
No, but I feel like it's something that, because when you talk about like how can we get it out there, I mean, I do think a lot of people scroll through their Instagram or whatever, and that would be a fun thing to do. So I'm gonna challenge the council to have a little bit of social media savvy and either have. Is
They're
there?
thinking to
there
themselves
a
right
Facebook?
now, that's one more thing on our plate.
I know. Is there a Facebook page for? Does Rollingwood?
Police department
Okay.
has one.
Okay.
They get their updates all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we start with light. We
Well-
say we have a Facebook page.
The women's club could also help us push it out.
Yeah,
On the WhatsApp.
yeah.
I think also it'd be a great idea to wait till this project is done and we could put photos of it up
Yeah,
as something we're starting,
Right.
improvements
Yeah,
that we're starting.
I agree. Then
the
you could have
direction we're
something to
headed.
point to.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna add that once everything is approved, we would plan to put it in the lower park bulletin board and the
Yeah.
upper park. We are talking about improving this one up here in the front of the parking lot that is not really utilized,
Yeah.
to renew it and to make it operable. So that's also something we're planning to put.
If you're posting it there, is that then a QR code that takes you to the donate page?
That's the idea. I think the idea would be to say, Friends of Rollingwood Park, donate now, not official or
Yeah.
anything, just an idea, and then have a QR code that would take you to the webpage, or whatever else, whatever alternative works for that effort.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, that sounds great. I think those are all good.
See, this is why I don't know how to do QR codes or write web pages. I know how to type.
Yeah.
Well, but I
So
think
we're gonna
it's-
add to your team. We're gonna have a graphic, social media, addition. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one of us. We can solicit people in the neighborhood. So we're asking you out there in the neighborhood, if you have those skills, please contact, the city and let us know. We would love your help in having a beautiful webpage and, that's, attractive and maybe changes seasonally with new pictures and things like that. And,
Well,
and
updates
shows
to what
the
we're
projects.
doing
Yep.
in the park.
Yep.
Or maybe just also a brief recap of whatever we've discussed that month in our
Yeah.
meeting or whatever to make it at least new content.
Yeah, pertinent to beautification and how it pertains to Friends of the Park. Yeah, because a lot of what we talk about it's out there, but keeping a focus on that. Well, just to itemize things towards kicking this off, there's a web page that needs to be created from this document, and there's the donate this mailing slip, if you will, needs to be edited and maybe just extra eyes on it and this thing that I put on here, it picked up all the lines from Excel. Looks kind of dumb. And you know we probably there's a better, like Alan's got a better logo on his shirt than I put on this thing. So better logo. Alex has sent around some kind of stylized trees and plants and things like that. My printer only prints black and white, but I just pulled this off the web just to have something up there. But this could use some let's make it really beautiful.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
absolutely. I think
And,
that's a great.
we need to make sure that we're within our 200 characters. And do we agree that, can we leave this reminder on the water bill? Can it just be a part of the water bill, or is that starting to clutter up the water bill, and maybe do it quarterly only? Interested in thoughts on that.
So just a clarifying question, Dawn, Diana, and I worked on the bill message for what it would look like once it launches and everything. Is the link, and it does meet the characters, like the character limit amount. Is that something that you guys are wanting to change? Do you like the language that's currently there? I guess
we
we're
can tighten this up.
I'm sorry?
I think we can tighten some of this language
I think
up.
she's talking about this one specifically.
Yeah,
This
the
is
bill
that.
message specifically, just so like
Yeah.
staff can kind of get an understanding of what our next step should be.
That's the 200 character limit. That's
Yes,
on the
sir.
water bill.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I would say that I'm not sure if we would be able to do this type of bill message or insert every month. We don't like to fill the utility bills with things every
Right.
month.
Solicitation.
Yeah.
Not this sent around every month, but maybe quarterly is what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
I think quarterly could work depending on if there are any other, more important, like, right, or sewer averaging, things like that
Yeah.
are pretty important on an annual basis. But I think quarterly would be appropriate, for sure.
Yeah, with the exception of the actual launch, which we would want to coordinate, and we'll pick a month where you're like, we know
Nothing
you'll be
going
the only
on.
thing.
Yeah.
How are you on the wording, Lori? Yeah, I think that simple sentence. Have you had a chance to see it, Victoria?
Me?
This one?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
great.
got it up
Yeah.
on my computer.
No, I think that simple
one's
wording
fine.
was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. On this one, I think we can tighten it up a little bit and then get some cool pictures and graphics. Are you able to share some of, and this is just so people can start brainstorming about it. Victoria had shared some logos that other cities have used. One of the things that I think we're really lucky on is the City of Rollingwood logo very much lends itself to a park. So
That's
I
true.
think we can piggyback maybe some sort
Use
of a
what we got.
variation of what we have to have on here.
I think so too.
Okay, good. Are you trying to bring it up?
Yes,
Okay.
I wasn't able to upload it before the meeting, so I'll
okay.
have to
Oh, yeah.
find it really quick. Give me just one second.
So what Victoria did was she shared some logos that other people use, and a lot of them you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm used to seeing that. And then also some other websites of other friends of parks, because again, why reinvent the wheel? Let's see some ones that are successful, and if we see kind of how people tend to do them, and piggyback on that, I think that could be very helpful. Did you have?
I did look through all those websites, and they were absolutely beautiful, but they were above and beyond what we need.
Absolutely.
I mean,
We're going to keep it simple.
They
Yeah.
had, I think functionally, I think these two things are about where they need to be, but they just need to be made as attractive as possible. This thing's fine.
Yep.
The water bill is the water bill. But I know this thing could be made prettier.
Yep.
I think the wording's pretty good.
I'm just tightening some things up just 'cause
Great.
That's what you do.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not changing anything, I'm just tightening it up.
Yeah.
Change if you wish.
Well, I mean, I'm changing words or
Yeah.
something, but I'm not changing, but I'm just gonna give it to you when I'm done, but I'm just tightening it, that's all I'm doing.
Cool. Great.
Now, the group that's been meeting about this was me and Diana and Mary Elizabeth. I don't know if that's if we're a real committee, or just kinda whoever happened to work on the time. If anybody's interested in working on it other than me, if this committee needs, we can only meet with 3 people
Yeah.
away from a meeting. So if anybody's interested in meeting it, above and beyond these meetings here,
Okay.
I can be fired, you know, replaced, whatever.
And you know, we always want to be mindful of not putting too much on the staff, because we know this is fun stuff. It's not necessarily the essentials, but we do want to get it. Michaela, do you think you have some artistic graphic skills that would help us with the page? Or do you? Okay.
I think that's good. I think that's okay. I can't say I'm probably the best, but I can definitely give it a good shot.
Okay.
I think we also have Lindsay, and so
Oh,
Lindsay
great.
has other duties as assigned at the
Nice.
bottom, so I think
Love
that she
it.
can give it a go.
All right. I bet she knows about social media.
So anything that comes to me, I'll forward to Michaela.
Okay. Great.
And we don't want to just dump on you, Michaela, but
No worries.
there's one of you and 7 of us, and
Yeah.
we're a big, bulky group, and I think it's really close here.
Okay.
So
So what I'm hearing is that we're gonna send edits and sort of ideas to Michaela. We'll work on looking at the logos that Victoria sent, but seeing how we can shape them so they match with City of Rollingwood in that way.
And I was able to put the logos
Oh, great.
in the packet,
Yeah.
so let me
Oh,
pull those
that's
up.
good.
this
The
is
East
the logo.
Park Conservancy
Yeah.
website is a good one
That's
to
a
look at
nice
too, that's
logo.
very simple.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you, Michaela.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
these are happy little
Mhm.
bits of park stuff.
Simple graphics. And part of it was thinking, you know, like one of the things, if someone gives, then we can make bumper stickers or bottle stickers, you know, for people that so people can start associating it with.
Are we voting?
No.
What do you like?
Well,
I like the first one, I like the tree.
Me too.
It's
And it's
cute.
funny because to me it looks
And then it goes
like
with the leaf of the city, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like something separate, but they are connected. And since one of our big and most expensive projects will be our trees, it all makes sense to me, and it's clean.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's my pitch.
All right.
I like that one too.
Cool. All right. Well, you've gotten some creative
Feedback.
feedback,
Got it.
and so we'll move in that direction.
And I love the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like this logo better,
Mhm.
the one that Alan has on his
Oh,
shirt.
okay. Sure.
Yeah. All right, so we'll look at starting to kind of get a page going, and see what we can get on it, and then the city will look at what way we can do a online one-click donation, and I'm trying to think of what else.
Now, that's not necessary for launching the one-click donation, or
Well,
is
I think
it?
we did say yes.
We
that
want
would
to
be-
do it all at once.
Because that would be, yeah, I guess you could set up recurring as a one-click. Okay.
Yes, they do it all the time with every nonprofit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have no idea how to set that up.
No.
So,
Oh, we don't either.
Yeah.
okay,
But hopefully Alan and team do.
Yeah.
good, good.
So were there any clarifying edits that you guys wanted to see to this copy other than the logos?
I have this.
You got something? Okay, perfect. All right. That'll do.
Great. And then, yeah, if you, now, is it violating anything for you to send us a link that we can all go look at it once you have it kind of going? With no
we just
comment.
can't respond to
Yeah,
it.
we can't respond to it. Can
We
we?
can't respond to all.
I think it's probably acceptable to say, here it is, kind of like we would with a packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is something to consider and keep to yourselves, and then discuss it the next time.
Yeah.
I think that's fine, because we send the packet out ahead of
Keep
time.
it
But if
to
that's all,
yourself.
if that's all it is, I mean, it's kind of hard, isn't
Yeah.
it? Sometimes you get
Yeah.
those things, you're quite excited, and
Yeah.
it's easy to accidentally fall afoul of the law just
Yeah.
because it is an exciting project. But no, I don't think
I
so.
thought that it was like if prior to a meeting, if I needed to share something with Park Commission, I'd send it to Ashley and she would distribute it.
Yeah,
Not me distributing it, but she would distribute it.
That's great.
yeah.
Isn't
And no,
that-
and no
Right, and that's
comments.
still permissible. I think the reason it would come through the city staff rather than you distributing it directly is just to be extra sure that it's not a violation in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd see it as the same kind of thing. That's the logic that I use to give my tentative yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Great. Okay. So if you have feedback, do let her know, but don't email her 10 times.
You have one
Consolidate.
opportunity,
Yeah.
so make it count. Sleep on it before you send the email.
Yeah.
If you need to add something.
Yeah.
But happy to help, so just let me know.
Cool.
Thank
Great.
you.
I think we're on our way. I think that's going to be great. And hopefully we'll have a project to show photos of soon after that. So I would make within the webpage a space for ongoing projects and maybe some photos.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, with the web page, you're not burning paper to add
Yeah.
a second page to it, so it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then we got an archive of the project photos and stuff.
Yeah.
If people are wondering what do they really do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Cool. Okay. Well, I think that is all we are posted to discuss this afternoon.
Yep.
So I will give back 20 minutes of your lives.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
I noticed that we didn't have anything in the police blotter. Was there nothing, or did we stop doing that for a
The
reason?
next report's gonna be next month.
Okay.
So it's gonna be July, I believe it's a quarterly report.
Okay.
So next, it will be in the packet.
Okay, so it's at the, okay, got it.
And I encourage you to, I know the city is in the process of adopting their budget, so if you as a citizen, whether it's parks or anything else, read through it and go make comments.
When is our next meeting?
Our next meeting is,
I can check.
This one's late, so.
yeah, so it'll feel soon, but that's a good
It
question.
will be on
The 8th?
July 8th.
Okay.
July 8th. All right. Is that good for everybody?
Works for me.
Terrific. All right, well, I thought Mary Elizabeth was gonna join us, but
She's out of town.
I-
She was able to join online, but she's also out of town, and I assured her that we did have a forum.
okay, perfect, great. All right, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Ticket.
Aye, all right.